It was crazy to run for 6 and totally unexpected. Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. As you can see by the title, it's an exciting one. We are racing at the Forwald Relays, which is my home meet. My team hosts this meet every year. It is always on the final night for qualification for the Drake Relays. So every year, it's always very competitive. Actually, this year is probably one of the most competitive years that I can remember. I will be racing the 1600 meter, and heading into this meet, my PR was 4:47. At the season opener for the 1600, I had run 4:48, so I wasn't really sure what I was capable of running. I set a goal of sub 4:45. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome to City High School, home of the Forwald Coleman Relays. Founded in 1973 by legendary former track and field coach John Raffensperger, the relays are named for Raff's predecessor, A.C. Chick Forwald. Now in its 47th year, Forwald is Eastern Iowa's premier relay meet. The Forwald Coleman Relays always feature some of the best high school talent from around the state, and this year is no different. Welcome to historic Iowa City High School. Welcome to Forwald.
The race went out as expected, fast. The leaders opened up with a 62 first lap, and 300 meters into the race, the field was already pretty strung out, and several groups emerged. There was the lead group of about 4 or 5 individuals who went through, as I said, in 62, 63. There were a few just individuals out on their own trying to chase back up to the lead pack, and then there was the group that I was in, which I like to call the peloton. It was most of the field, and I was in about 15th place after the first lap. We came through the first lap in about 67 to 68 seconds. The leaders went through 800 meters in 2:10. Their pack that was once 4 or 5 people had dissolved to just 2. It was a 2-man race between my teammate Ford and my man from across the river, Alex. And it was clear they were feeling good. I went through 800 in 2:19, and I too was feeling pretty good. And before the race, I made a note in my head that no matter how I felt, 2 laps to go, heading into that 3rd lap, that's where I was going to make a move. So with 700 meters to go, I put in a surge.
Surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw.
At the bell, Ford began to wind up his kick, and it was clear he was on pace to do something special. I came through with 1 lap to go and took a glance at the clock and saw that not only was I on pace to break 4:45, but I was on pace to run sub 4:40, but it was going to be close. Coming down the home straightaway, I was fighting for every 1/10 of a second, and I crossed the finish line in 4:36, an 11-second PR. And, well, Ford ran 4:13, broke the school record that had stood since 1976 by Randy Jackson, who competed in the 1980 Olympic trials in the steeplechase. But, yeah, I ran 4:36. It was crazy to run 4:36 and totally unexpected. If you saw my most recent video before this, you will know that I split a 2:15 in the 4x8, and in the open 8, I ran 2:16, which is crazy because my second 800 of this 1600 was about 2:17. So after that race, I had a bunch of teammates coming up to me asking me, like, how was my 800 so slow, but yet my 1600 so fast? And to answer that question, well, I know that my 800 should be a lot faster than it is. So I think that if I were to just race an all-out 800 fresh in nice weather, I would feel really good and hopefully go sub 210. And to spoil part of the next video, I ran an open 8, ran 2:11. Another side note, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I feel more nervous for a 400 or an 800 than for a 16 or 32, which is kind of strange because a 16 and 32 seems more daunting, but I think it's just because I've run so many 32 and 1600s that they're more familiar, and I feel like I'm more confident with my abilities in those races. So that brings us to the inquiry of the episode. What is your go-to joke? It's a bit of a random one, but comment below your go-to joke, and I hope that you guys make me laugh. So thank you so much for watching. Run to the max, and I'll see you in the next video.